Shalom, 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 shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praises and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone, and salutation to all the arguments, pushing the truth uncut and raw. Waking let, coming to third, Mashwala Balban. The topic is, all right, they asked, what is the multitude, all right? Because these Christians, all right, they losing. They losing the battle. They ain't gonna lose the war as well because it's not the truth. As was it Gamaliel, I believe he said, if it's of men, it'll come to naught. And that's how you know that this shit is of men, because it's coming to naught. Everybody's leaving the Christian church, man, because they know there's no hope in it. All right, their questions are not being answered. All right, and our people still being afflicted. All right, there's no hope in that. All right. And I want to get it. Revelation 7. What proves the great multitude? All right, it's Israelites. It's not heathens. It's Israelites, because over different type of captivities, all right, our people been scattered abroad. All right, our people been scattered abroad. That's probably the curses. You go, I get it in Deuteronomy. All right, scattered four corners of the earth. All right, where you be, scattered, to the enemy, the heathens. All right, and eventually, over a period of time, our people will be, after a couple of generations, will be assimilated into the ways of the heathens and even looking like them. That's that great multitude. All right, and I'm gonna prove it through the scriptures. See, you niggas can't prove what you're saying. You're just talking. All right, so Revelation 7 and 9. After this, behold, and lo, a great multitude which no man could number of all nations. And we're going to prove why it's from all nations, man. All right? Because the children of Israel scattered through all nations. And the kindreds of the people and tongues stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands, man. And that's speaking of that great multitude is the Israelites, man. All right, the Israelite foreigners are scattered amongst the heathens. All right, and that's let's prove it. All right, is it Deuteronomy? I know it's 28 going to it, but I believe it's another one. Bear with me, Akim Salakia. All right, I believe it's 27 is what I want. Deuteronomy 4 and 27, and the Lord shall scatter you among the nations, you see, and ye shall be left few in numbers among the heathen, whether the Lord shall lead you. All right, so the Heavenly Father says he's going to scatter you amongst the heathens, among the nations, man. That's part of the curses. All right, if you don't keep our bargain of our covenant, and we didn't, all right, we didn't keep our bargain, all right. All right, we broke the covenant, man. All right, we said that we was going to serve the Lord with all our heart and all our mind. All right, we did it. We started serving other gods. So the Heavenly Father, all right, scatter us amongst the nations, man. It's simple. You see, that's what happens to you Christians. You don't go into the history. You don't understand what happened to the Israelites, man. All right, you believe that all the Israelites were in the kingdom, even to the Roman Empire. That's not so. Only 3 tribes were in, now you have other tribes within there, all right, of the northern tribe, but there were small numbers, all right, those not great numbers. Majority of northern tribe was already here in the Americas, as in the second Ezra, I believe what that was, 11 or 13, one of them, that goes into it. I believe it's 13, that goes into it, man. All right, they came over here, all right, the Syrian, after they was kicked out of land, they went into to serve the Syrians, and then after the Syrians, they went to they said, fuck, let's leave the Syrians and let's go to a land where no man dwell, and that's the Americas, man. All right, in the time of the Romans, all right, the time of the Greeks and the Romans, all right, the Babylonians, even to go into the Babylonians, all right, Northern tribe was not there. All right, that was just Judah, Benjamin, and Levi majority of the time. All right, so we just give you the history. All right, you niggas, man, y'all low level, but this have to come out because we're gonna have that great multitude of members come in. So this is gonna help them break down. All right, it's gonna break down the strongholds that's still upon them. All right. Deuteronomy 28. Bear with me, Akim. Deuteronomy 28. 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, a byword among all the nations, and whether the Lord shall lead thee. So different we was kicked out of the land and went to different captivity and served the heathens. All right, what you think? The time of Jeremiah, Obadiah, Isaiah. Jeremiah was talking about the Babylon Empire. Daniel, all right, the time of what? The Babylon Empire, the Median Persians in captivity. You ducks. Just to prove it, that's 41. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity. Or kids. All right, there go. 40. No, that's not it. Bear with me, Akim. Because I'm in transit, so let me just put in the word wood and stone. All right. Deuteronomy 28 and 36. And the Lord shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation whether neither thou neither thou unto the nation which neither thou nor thy fathers known, and there shall thou serve gods, wood and stone. So going into different captivities, worshiping their gods. Eventually, what? Becoming a heathen. All right, in the spirit, or physically. All right, you worshiping them, their gods. All right, that was the uncircumcised, the Hellenists, the Hellen, Greek-speaking Jew. All right. Deuteronomy 28 and 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all the people from the ends, from the one of the earth even unto the other. And there shall there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. All right, proving that we can be scattered. All right, so that's gonna prove why that great multitude coming from let's just get it. Go back. I don't gotta butcher it. It's here, Revelation 7 and 9. After this, behold, and lo, a great multitude which no man could number, of all the nations. Why? Because all the Israelites are scattered among the nations, and kindreds and people. Tongues stood before the throne, and before the Lamb, clothed with the white robes and palms in their hands. That's the Israelites. All right. Matthew 24. Matthew 24 and 31. All right. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from the one end of the heaven to another. And who's the elect? We go to Isaiah. Just you can put elect. You can put the elect in, and you're gonna get a lot of scriptures. But I believe Isaiah 41 says Israel. All right, Isaiah 41. All right, bear with me. Isaiah 41. Is it Isaiah 41? 41. I'm gonna just put elect. Let me just put elect. It'll save time. All right, elect. Or is Isaiah 45? Isaiah 45:4. For Jacob my servant's sake, Israel my elect. So that's the elect that he's going to gather from the four winds of the earth. I have even called him by thy name. I have surnamed thee, thou that hast not known me. Speaking of Israel, man. All right, that's the elect. They're going to be gathered for the four winds of the earth, man. Let's go into east. Goes in, Lord delivering us from the east and the, from the west. Fear not, Isaiah 43:5. Fear not, for I am with thee. I will bring thy seed from the east and gather thee from the west. I know there's one in, let me just go to Ezekiel. I know there's one in Ezekiel. Ezekiel. Bear with me, Akim Salakia. East and west. Let me just see if I get some better, because I don't know how exactly it goes, but it's in Ezekiel. Ezekiel, then I'm thinking of something else. Salakia. Okay, Psalms 107:3, and gather them out. All right, let's start at Psalms 107:1. Oh, give thanks unto the Lord, for he is good, for his mercy endureth forever. Lord say, so whom he have redeemed from the hands of his enemies, the elect, and gathered them out of the lands from the east, from the west, from the north, from the south. All right. They wander in the wildest solitary way and found no city that dwell in. Speaking of the children of Israel. All right. You say, okay, let's go. My last precept, all right? It's Salakia. Isaiah 11:10. All right? And the day there shall be a root of Jesse. Who come from the root of Jesse? All right? David. All right? Who came from the seed of David? Who you eagerly called Jesus Christ, Yahushai. Which shall stand for an ensign of the people, a sign. And the people, and it shall be, and to it shall the Gentiles seek, and the rest shall be glorious. And who are the Gentiles? And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again a second time. The second time of what? The first time was ancient Egypt. The second time, he's going to deliver us the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left in Assyria, from Egypt, from Pathros, from Cush, from Elam, from Shinar, from Hamath, from the islands of the sea. Oh, that's not it. Oh, it's not it, It's not it, all right, it still don't prove a point, all right. 12, and he shall set up an ensign for the nations and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel. Why? Because Israel was cast out of the land, all right, Israel, the northern tribe, and to gather together the dispersed, all right, the diaspora of Judah. Why? Because Judah was dispersed for different captivities from Babylon, all right, Babylon Empire, Median, now I'm losing my, the Median Persian Empire, all right, the Greek Empire to the Roman Empire, all right, was scattered, dispersed of Judah from four corners of the earth, for the four corners of the earth. So proving that's that great multitude, all right, and let's go back to it. Revelations 7, all right, and 9. After this, behold, and lo, a great multitude which no man can number of all the nations. Why? Because all Israel scattered among all the nations, and kindreds of people and tongues stood before the throne, and before the Lamb clothed white robes and palms in their hands. And that's speaking of Israelites, all right. Just to prove this point to Acts, the 2nd chapter. What Acts, the 2nd chapter was talking about. All right. Now, let's start at Acts 2 and 3. And there appeared unto them a cloven tongues like a fire, and set upon each of them. So what? They could speak in tongues. The Spirit came down that they could speak different languages. All right. And they were filled with the Holy Spirit, and began to speak with other tongues as Spirit gave them utterance. And there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men, out of every nation under heaven. So these are Jews that knew they're Israelites and was in these different nations. So imagine the Israelites that didn't know, all right, there was Israelites. That was what Paul was for at that time, to bring the incircumcision. That's why he was apostles of the Gentiles. Those are Israelites, all right, Gentiles. All right, it can mean an actual heathen, and a Gentile can be an Israelite. Israelite that's simulated, all right, as acting like a heathen. See, when you go into the Greek Empire of Antiochus Epiphanes, he made a law that, all right, if you were found worshiping the Sabbath, all right, eating circumcising your kids, you would be put to death. You couldn't keep the law. So certain Israelites, out of fear, all right, started doing the things of the heathens. All right? That's why you got to go in that history. I need to go in that history. All right? 6. Now, when this was noised abroad, the multitude came together and were confounded, because that every man heard them speaking his own language. So they was like, damn, these guys, I know they Galilean. They don't even speak Hebrew, but we can hear them, all right, speaking in our languages that we know, the languages that we know. It's gonna say it right here, 7. And they were all amazed and marveled, saying to one to another, behold, are not all these which speak Galileans? How hear we every man a man in our own tongue, wherein we were born? So they was born there. Pathros, the Medes, Elamites, and dwellers of Mesopotamia, and in Judea and Cappadocia, Pontus, Asia, Paragaia, Pamphylia, and Egypt, and in the parts of Libya about Cyrene, strangers of Rome, Jews, proselytes, Cretes, Arabians. We do hear them speak in our tongues and wonderful works of God. You see? So that's that great multitude, man, that kindreds and every nation and every tongue. It's just Israelites, all right, that scattered abroad. And we read in Isaiah 11 chapter, the Lord is going to come back to save. All right, the second time. The first time was ancient Egypt. So those were Israelites in ancient Egypt. So the second time would be the same people again. All right, let's just go back into it. Break it down. All right, for you simple people again. So I'll read it again. All right, Isaiah 11:10. And that day there shall be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign of the people. And it shall be, and shall the Gentiles seek, and the rest shall be glorious. That's the sign, Yahushua. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time. The first time was ancient Egypt. All right, the second time would be what? Our modern day Egypt. All right, when the Edomites would be rolling. All right, to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left in Assyria, Salakia, from Egypt, from Pathros, from Cush, from Elam, from Shinar, from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, a sign, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, northern tribe, all right, and to gather together dispersed of Judah, southern tribe, from the four corners of the earth. That's that great multitude when Yahushua come, all right, with the elect, all right, the elect from 12,000 from each tribe are going to be the government body of Israel, all right, the government body of Israel, all right, that the Lord is going to gather from the four winds of the earth, man. All right, the elect, that's 12,000 from each tribe, and that great multitude is going to be friends of the prophets, all right, a woman, all right, and children. All right, that's that great multitude. All right, that's why you see an awakening of Israelites on the four corners of the earth. All right, they're could be in different type of countries, all right, proclaiming and confessing that they're Israelites and looking like the other nations. But because the Spirit bear witness with, because our Spirit bear witness with His Spirit, all right, because we are the children of the Most High. His Spirit bear, His Spirit bear witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High. All right, and that's it. That's it. That's the answer. Are you? What is this? The multitude are the Israelites, man. All right, because the 144,000 is men, and the rest will be what? Friends of the prophets. All right, give me males that's friends of the prophets, women, and children. That's that great multitude that can't be numbered. All right. So call her line like how about Shemal Shai, Brakatah Yahweh, Brakatah Yahweh Shai, Brakatah Yahweh, Brakatah Yahweh Shai. Call her line like how about Shemal Shai. Double honors to the apostles, elders, a great millstone, and salutation to all the Archeum that's pushing the truth. Arkanara, waking leg, to third, Shalom.